Hi guys, and welcome back to Uncharted Science, where this week we're going to be showing you how you can maximise your memory. Whether you've got an exam coming up or you just want to be able to remember when your girlfriend's birthday is, this is the perfect video for you. So sit back and relax while we show you some scientifically backed up life hacks so you don't forget the things that matter. Skip a row! Now the first of these will probably come as a bit of a surprise to most of you, and that's that we shouldn't multitask. A Sussex University study that came out a few years ago actually said that those of us that multitask have far less grey matter than those that don't. But what actually is grey matter, and what does this mean? First things first, grey matter is one of the two kinds of matter that are found in your brain and your spinal cord, the two organs that make up your central nervous system. Grey matter is actually the name that we give to all of the different kinds of cell bodies found in the brain, and it's these cell bodies that actually do most of the work to do with memory. The other kind of matter is this stuff called white matter, and all this really does is it connects the patches of grey matter together. So what this means is that if you don't multitask, you've got far more grey matter, and that then provides you with the capacity to store more memories and re-access them more easily. So when you're trying to learn something, you need to give it 100% of your attention. The next few life hacks can all be aggregated into a single idea that many people who have watched the BBC series of Sherlock will have already heard of, and this is that of a mind palace. Now the problem with mind palaces is it's actually quite a complex idea, so I've decided that we're going to break this down into some very simple aspects. First off, we need to appreciate that the human brain isn't actually made to store facts. The reason it's actually developed how it has done is to support our old hunter-gatherer lifestyle, which our ancestors had about 10,000 years ago. So the human brain is optimal for remembering routes and directions. And because of this, one of the best ways that you can learn is by treating everything as a story. What I mean by this is that we can put ideas into a sequential order whereby we associate them together. This means that by remembering the first idea, we can actually draw upon all of those that come after it due to this association that we remember. And to support this last idea that we order all of our memories, we have to use the strongest of all of our five senses. What we have is a fantastic pair of forward-facing eyes, which developed long before Homo sapiens even walked on this earth. So not only is our brain fantastic at remembering directions, it's also fantastic at remembering visual cues. So if we can associate an idea to a visual image or a shape, it makes it far easier to remember it. And if we can aggregate these ideas together, then we can form a perfect mind palace. A mind palace is a 3D area that we create in our mind and easily access at a later date. And this may at first sound incredibly bizarre, but there is a very simple way to utilize it. By creating this 3D space, we can produce journeys that go through it. And along these journeys, or these paths, we can place visual cues, signs, shapes, and objects which are going to help us remember and access memories. And there are ways that we can maximize the efficiency of a mind palace. One of these is the idea that we can break up ideas into sets. For example, when you're remembering a phone number, you can either treat it as 11 separate numbers or 3 distinct chunks. And the reason that remembering a phone number in 3 distinct chunks is so efficient is that the human short-term memory is actually only capable of remembering 4 to 5 objects at a time. And it's this fact that's the sole limiter to human memory. But there's also a very simple way to overcome the issue of short-term memory, and that's by trying to store it in our long-term memory. You can't just sit there and wish that a short-term memory is going to become a long-term memory. But what you can do is this idea called mindfulness. Mindfulness has become increasingly popular over the last few decades, to the point where mindfulness is making its way into the workplace, and thousands of us from the UK alone are going off to mindfulness festivals, workshops, and camps over the summer. But mindfulness is useful for more than just helping calm us down. What it can do is allow us to focus on these ideas in our short-term memory, because it only takes 8 seconds for us to store an idea in our long-term memory. Another place where we can store long-term memories is during sleep, because sleep is the period of time where the cells in our brains can actually make connections to each other. And if you already struggle with sleep, don't worry, because I will put a link to a video we've already made on how you can sleep better in the diddly bob below. The final thing that you can do to help maximize your memory is actually to take a step away from your work. What I'm referring to here is exercise. This has a huge number of benefits to your brain's health. Not only does it increase cerebral plasticity, your capacity to learn, but it also helps consolidate memories. In this video, what we've been talking about is the idea of maximizing your memory. So in summary, there isn't a magic pill that you can take to help you remember things better, but what you can do is use your brain how it's meant to be used. As I've already said, the human brain is not made to remember sequences of words. The brain isn't built to remember a book by rote, but what it is capable of doing is remembering images and objects incredibly efficiently. So that's how we have to utilize our brain, and we have to make every sequence of memories a journey. And on top of this, we need to not fixate on the amount of work we're doing. We need to every so often take a step away from our work, and we need to make sure that our sleep quality isn't degrading because we're spending too much time stressing over our work. Thank you so much everyone for taking the time to watch this video. If it's giving you the confidence to go ahead and build a mind palace, or even just to try some mindfulness, go and give this video a like down below and share it with your friends. And for more top tips to help you live a better life, don't forget to watch this space and subscribe. Thank you so much once again guys, and I'll see you on the flip side. Peace out.